Jerry Jones, Mike McCarthy, Pittsburgh guy, said that Jerry feels all news is good news.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like all time is good time or something like that. I forget what it was. But the more you learn about Jerry Jones, the more you learn about like a guy who is literally a constant, yeah, it's going to work. Yeah, let's do that. Yep, we're going to do that. And I assume that's because most of the times that he's done that, it has worked out.
Right.
And most of the time, whenever he has decided to do something, when people tell him not to do something, it's probably paid off big time. So his feeling of, yeah, I'm fucking smarter than everybody, is probably earned in his mind. Changed the NFL completely whenever he became an owner. You're talking about licensing and different deals that he has been able to create, and he's a part of the business side of it. And everybody talks about the business he sold to buy the Cowboys and go all in. He is a part of the TV network deals that happen. Jerry Jones is a big part of that. So no matter what your thoughts are on Jerry Jones, business-wise, Jerry has been fucking incredibly successful and very powerful in the biggest league in the NFL. So you can see how he maybe thinks that his way is the right way to go about doing things. When he starts talking about injuries, though, it is fucking awesome. This was his answer on 105.3 The Fan just yesterday morning, talking about Dak Prescott. And we were talking about an injury that everybody says 6 to 8 weeks to return from. Jerry Jones, who's been successful at everything he's ever done with a super optimistic and positive mindset, says this, and guess what? I almost fucking believe him over the science.
And how are you feeling about Dak's progression and his timeline?
Well, I don't know that anybody knows, but when he can get away from or get into the strength area where he can grasp, then you'll see probably the real advancement in his timeline. And I don't know when that is. I do know that I think after a good airing out last week, everybody recognizes that he'll be back sooner rather than later as far as the timeline. And it really could be a minimal of 2 weeks up here in my mind. Now that's very optimistic. That is optimistic, but it could be. And he's got the kind of repair there that will allow him not to have a lot of fear about re-injuring. It's just a question of the grip. But it's a big question.
Big question. Okay. Now, that is a big question there, the grip on a quarterback, whether he's able to throw the football or not. And if we can bring the picture of the quote back up, I think the reason why I love this is because Jerry Jones is clearly tell me the best possible outcome. They tell him the best possible outcome, and he goes, that's what it's going to be.
Going with it.
I love it. I enjoy that. I feel like I'm pretty similar in a lot of situations. I don't know about medical-wise I've ever been that way, but I do like the fact that Jerry Jones knows he's invested a lot of money in his franchise quarterback. His team is going to be better with Dak Prescott, although Cooper Cush came in and got the job done for the Dallas Cowboys. His actual quote, if you look at it in words, kind of condensed, I don't know that anybody knows when he'll be back. So let's talk about it. Doctor came up, trainer came up, said 6 to 8 weeks. He said, is that a fucking fact? 6 to 8 weeks? You're already putting windows.
He's been hitting that timeline for a long time, Jerry. Yep.
Yeah, but has anybody ever come back sooner than that? There is one case where somebody came back in like 3. Oh, so it's not 6 to 8 weeks. Is that what I just heard? So you guys don't even know. I mean, you guys are supposed to know. I guess I know, but that one person came back 3 weeks, right? You said that what sport? Softball, shot put, what was it? Throw the ball, same thing as Dak? Nobody fucking knows. Got it. 2 weeks he's coming back. I don't know that anybody knows when he'll be back. All right, I'm sure that conversation has somehow got to that point, and I love it. I love everything about it. But when he gets enough strength in his hand, then you'll probably see some real advancement in his timeline. I don't know when that is. I do know that with a good airing out last week, everybody recognizes that he'll be back sooner than later as far as the timeline. Now, what's the timeline? Is the timeline the doctor's timeline that he just said that nobody knows when he's going to be back from?
Right.
So 6 to 8 weeks. He's going to be back sooner than later on that timeline. Hey, what he did last week, airing it out as well. What does that mean, by the way? Airing it out. Was he throwing the ball last week?
Sounds like it.
Yeah, we saw him holding it.
So maybe in day to day, he did get a couple throws up.
What if he can't move that thumb and he's like, yeah, I can figure out how to throw a fucking. You just kind of lock that thing in there. I can figure out how to throw a strike with that. I mean, I mean, normally, yeah, full throw and everything, but if this is how we got to throw, I can do it. Jerry said, I like that. Now, look at us, we got different throws. Maybe even that in the fucking left hand, and then we don't even need the right thumb. Ain't that right? I mean, just the thought of Jerry dissecting it all is amazing. It really could be a minimum of 2 weeks up here in my mind, okay? From all the conversations I've had with the doctors, with Dak, with seeing him throw, with the trainers, with the research, in my mind, fuck, maybe next week. I mean, we do not know.
Why not?
Now, that's very optimistic. I understand that. But he's got the kind of repair that will allow him not to have a lot of fear of re-injuring it, which is a big deal. I think getting past an injury and being scared to death that you're going to re-injure it after you just did a bunch of rehab on it. Now, he will only be doing 2 weeks of rehab, so it's not like investing 3-4 months every single day into rehabbing something and having the scare that it's going to pop again. And that's a big deal. It's just a question of grip, but that's a big question whenever you're talking about a quarterback. So Jerry's telling the world in a very positive way in the Cowboys Nation, one of which a member of rode a horse into a grocery store.
Yep.
In a Dallas Cowboys. That happened.
the win.
That happened. Celebrate the win. Cooper Cush brings the boys a dub. One of the Cowboys faithful puts a cowboy hat, saddles the horse, goes right in the grocery store like they said they would. If Cooper gets us a fucking win, I'm riding Molly down to the
Walmart.
I'm going right into the Walmart. I'm going right. And they did. Just walked that son bitch around, dyed the tail blue, put the Prescott jersey on, and said, excuse me, I need to go to aisle 7 to pick up the big balls of Cooper Cush. What an unbelievable team the Cowboys have. And that's all because of Jerry Jones' marketing, because of how faithful they are, how bought in they are. But who knows, I think, is what Jerry's saying when he could come back. That 6 to 8 weeks might not even be a thought for Jerry at this point.
Well, and it makes sense because, anytime we talk about the Cowboys, at least the media in general and Jerry, it's like the team on paper, we could win a Super Bowl this year. Like he's eternally optimistic no matter what the case is. So it does make sense that in his mind, it doesn't matter what the doctors are saying. Like he is expecting Dak to be back in 2 to 4 weeks, and if he's not, then he'll say, "Well, yeah, I might have been a little optimistic."
Well, I overshot he'll say I overshot the horse.
How much pressure is on Dak in general?
If Cooper Cush wins a couple games, I don't think there's that much. But you're talking about to force him back. Yeah, I don't know. I think that's a negative way. But Dak knows Jerry.
Yeah.
Like Dak understands. They paid Dak after a gruesome injury, and I would assume at some point Jerry said, "You're going to be back better than ever with this brand new leg." I mean, this is good news, not bad news. Your last leg. Listen, that thing was 24 years old.
Failed you.
This new leg, shit, it's going to be a month or two old here in about a month or two. I mean, we got Brandon's. I love that about Jerry, though.
Eternal optimism.
I fucking love it because I assume there's a lot of trying times, but Jerry's always kind of skated through, and he's like, yeah, fuck yeah, it'll all work out. It'll all work out, including with medicine and surgery. And I'll be excited to see the willpower of Jerry Jones, see if it works out for him.
We'll see it, man. I mean, it's obviously not his injury, and we'll see. All injuries are different, but I like the optimism from Jerry. You got to have that, especially for your quarterback. Hopefully Dax gets out there sooner than later, man.
Think about Jerry talking in the one per club meeting in the NFL. We're going to make $110 billion over 11 years. And then some very negative owner who's just a pissed off, miserable billionaire somehow, which does happen a lot. We've heard from documentaries.
John
and shit.
Mara.
Yeah, all of them. And just like, let's be realistic. I don't live in a realistic world.
Shut your fucking mouth.
Fucking 110 billion in 11 years. I'll put my left and right nut on it. I love that is how Jerry operates. Has to be tough for everybody around him, though. You don't win the Super Bowl, what are we doing? I told everybody. I had to believe. Remember, we talked about we were winning the Super Bowl last year. Mike, what the fuck happened? And Mike's like, Jerry, it's going to be tough. Jerry, what an interesting pairing those two are. Just Pittsburgh to the core in Mike McCarthy. Probably, laughs a lot. Probably has a good time, drinks beers.
But
Deep in his soul, probably miserable, though. Okay, probably okay being miserable. Yeah. That's probably, he's okay with that. And then you got Jerry coming in with his Southern, hey, we're going to win fucking 10 Lombardis right next 10 years. Let's do that. And I go, let's put some fucking realistic expectations on this thing.
Well, and he has to be like that because he knows that no one's going to give him a pass. Like, no one, if the Cowboys, with Dak being hurt, like, let's say they go 4-13 this year, like, no one's going to talk about Dak getting hurt. It's like, hey, the Cowboys once again stunk this year. Like, Jerry knows that no matter what happens, regardless on the field, like, no one is going to give the Cowboys a pass if they don't make the playoffs this year or they don't compete.